Hi, my name is Erin and I'm a zookeeper here at the Cherry Brook Zoo. This week we're featuring our African crested porcupines on our virtual field trip. Due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the NV government has mandated that we close our doors to the public. However, we're still here every day taking care of our animals. What does this mean? Well, we've decided to bring the zoo to you. All we ask is for $1 or $2. Click on the link or for the donation button, or check the video description for information on how to donate. Now, who's ready for some fun? And remember, that monkey's still out there, so keep your eyes open. Today we're talking about the behavior of African crested porcupines. Here in the zoo, they spend most of their day asleep in their habitat, but during the night, they actually become a lot more active. In the wild, porcupines come out of their burrows at night to go and look for food. They tend to go off by themselves and can travel up to 9 miles looking for food. They look for things like roots and vegetables and other plants, and then they come back to their burrows during the day and sleep. They will also spend most of the winter inside those burrows, although they don't really hibernate. Most of the baby porcupines will be born during the spring and summer in Africa, which would be our fall and winter. The parents usually stay together for life in what's called a monogamous pair. They tend to stay just with the two of them and live in a burrow with the rest of their family, including their smallest babies and some of their older babies as well. They have a big extended burrow that they all live in, and when the mom is ready to have her babies, she goes off into her own den that's usually lined with grass. When the babies are born, they have their eyes open and their teeth already starting to poke out, although their quills are nice and soft. It's not until a week or so later, when they first come out of the den, that the quills start to harden up. The babies will join the parents looking for solid food very shortly after coming out of the den. So what do porcupines like to do? Well, the two main things, they dig and they chew. So here in the zoo, we have to give them things to do that keep them occupied. So we always give them an open area in their habitat that they're able to dig. Out in the wild, they would dig deep burrows and long tunnel systems that their whole family would live in. And then they would chew on things. In the wild, they'll actually collect bones and bring them back to their burrows, and they'll chew on those to help keep their teeth in condition. Because their teeth never stop growing, they need to chew on things to wear them down. So here in the zoo, we like to give them things that they can chew on, like wood or antlers. And that also gives them a little bit of calcium too. When we think of porcupines, we think of those big, long, spiky quills. So those are part of their defense. They actually have a pattern of behavior that comes up before they will even use their quills. Most of the time, you'll see them raise their quills first. African crested porcupines have a big impressive fan of quills, almost like the fan of a peacock's tail. So they are able to raise them up, make themselves look big and impressive to try and warn off any predators or threats to them. Then, if that doesn't work, they will move next to stomping their feet. So they will stomp their little feet and let you know that they know you're there, they feel threatened, and they'd rather you went away. If that doesn't work, African crested porcupines have special rattle quills on their tails. These are hollow, open-ended quills that make a lot of sound when they shake their tails. So that rattling sound lets you know, hey, I'm warning you, I can defend myself, but I'd rather you just leave. Then, if that doesn't work, the porcupines can give a barking sound and let you know that they are about to back up towards you. So they will back their quills towards you, and they've been known to injure big predators such as lions, leopards, hyenas, and wild dogs. And they can certainly injure a human that wanders too close as well. So we have to watch out for that, but for the most part, porcupines would rather just be left alone. So here in the zoo, we don't really worry about walking in with them. We just make sure that our movements are slow and non-threatening, and they're usually pretty happy to see us because we bring their dinner every day. So working with them is actually quite fun. It's nice to see Spike and Prickles wandering around in their habitat, playing with toys that we give to them, and enjoying their dinner. Crested porcupines are awesome parents. In fact, they're one of the few animals out there that do long-term parenting. So most animals, when they have their babies, they raise them for that one breeding season, and then the babies are mature and they go off on their own to have their own families. But African crested porcupines tend to stay together for a lot longer. The babies are usually mature about the time they're a year or so old, but they will continue to live in the same burrow with their parents, and the parents will continue to teach them things like where to find good food and how to defend themselves, dig out a burrow, or find water. All of these things are very important for animals out in the wild that are trying to survive. So it makes good sense for the porcupines to live together as a family group and to also teach their babies lots of new and interesting things. So with a family of porcupines, you have the mom and the dad, and they're the oldest ones in the group. Then you usually have juveniles, so these are babies that might have been from a year or two ago, and they haven't gone off to form their own family yet. And then the babies are the youngest ones in the family group. One of my favorite facts about these guys, a baby porcupine is actually called a porcupet. Thank you for joining us on our virtual field trip. Tune in tomorrow at 10:30 a.m. Atlantic Time for another adventure with Spike and Prickles. Be sure to check the comments of tomorrow's video for the answers to today's questions.